What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to take a few minutes to share with you. I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on one of my favorite things to smoke. It's beef ribs. And the reason I broke this up over 3 series is basically to keep things condensed. I know, like many people, we're all busy and we don't have a whole lot of time. Plus, I wanted to show you each specific piece because I think it's important that you get to see every little tip and trick that I use during that process. So what you're going to see in the beginning is first the prep. The second video is basically how I set up my cooker for the indirect, so you can see how that works. And then 3, and of course not least, is actually the presentation of the beef ribs themselves. So definitely stay tuned and obviously hit that subscribe button, and definitely let me know what you think in the comments over these next 3 days. I'll be curious to see what your opinion is.
You ready? Let's go!
Doing a special cook. This is actually my favorite thing to smoke out of everything that I have done to date. Obviously brisket's up there with a lot of people as well, but I'm going to tell you what my favorite is. Brisket on a stick, beef ribs. There's nothing that beats beef ribs in my opinion as far as smoking them. They're always great, they always turn out good, and I'm going to show you little tips and tricks that I do that make these things very special. So stay tuned, it's going to get good. Marbling in them. You're not going to really too much worry about this fat because you're going to take a lot of this off just like you do with the brisket, and that's what's going to help as far as keeping the meat moist. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this up real quick. We'll put this on fast mode just so it's easier for you, but like I said, this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to trim this up, get all the fat that doesn't need to be on there, and we'll get this ready to smoke. So I borrowed this idea off a gentleman by the name of Chris, the smoker, the baker, on Instagram. One of my dear Instagram connections. And basically what he does, and it definitely works, is he basically takes off this little fatty piece here in between the bones, and that allows the smoke to be entrapped in between here and gets both sides of the meat. So that's one of the things I'm doing here, is taking this little piece off, as you can see, and it definitely works. I didn't know this before, didn't even think about it, but it just makes sense if you really think about it. This allows the meat, the smoke to penetrate both sides of the meat and get completely through there. So Chris, I really do appreciate that idea. Hope you're watching this video, buddy. And like I said, I'll show you how this gets done, and I'll show you my next few tips that are really critical to making these pop. Okay, you can see how that kind of looks. That's going to allow that smoke to penetrate both sides. And next I'm going to show you my ultimate trick and why I think I get such a good smoke ring and flavor. One is the Louisiana Hot Sauce. I use this as a binder on all my beef ribs, and I'm just telling you, it works. I think it also helps as far as when you're prepping these, because what I think happens is the sauce itself penetrates the meat, and I think it helps add that little smoke ring, although obviously the smoke itself comes from the cookers. But each time I've done this, no matter what cooker I've done it on, I've always used a very similar technique, and I always use Louisiana Hot Sauce as a binder, and I'm telling you, it just works, and it works out really good. So encourage you to use it, because like I said, it just works. Okay, last but not least, if you want to give your beef ribs some pop, I use this back and black rub from my man Mike from Black River Barbecue, and it adds a deep, rich texture to it. The bark looks like it's already there before you even cook it, and I'm telling you, when it's all said and done and they're smoked, it looks incredible. So I'm just putting this on there, getting both sides obviously, and then of course from there we'll get this set up for tomorrow. This is going to actually be wrapped and kept overnight before they're actually smoked. Beef ribs, definitely my favorite, and like I said, that hot sauce really acts like a good binder, and this rub is seriously perfect for these beef ribs. One last tip, I like to saran mine, double wrap, saran wrap mine before I put it in the refrigerator overnight. It's gonna help lock in that flavor. So just another tip.